Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Dusty Baker returning to the San Francisco Giants as a special assistant, AP source says. Ramaswamy drops out of 2024 race, endorses Trump. Is this Britain's most bizarre bus route? Vivek Ramaswamy suspends campaign after coming fourth in Iowa. Tencent sees a future where everyone gets by with just a swipe of the hand. Dusty Baker returning to the San Francisco Giants as a special assistant, AP source says. Associated Press. Dusty Baker will be returning to the San Francisco Giants for a third stint with the team, this time as a special assistant in the front office, according to a person with direct knowledge of the hire. Baker, who managed the Giants from 1993 to 2002, will serve as a special assistant to President of Baseball Operations Farhan Zaidi and CEO Larry Baer. The 74-year-old Baker retired from the Houston Astros following the 2023 season, but expressed a desire to continue working in an advisory role. Baker finally won a World Series title as a manager with Houston in 2022. He still owns a home in Granite Bay, California and has repaired his relationships in San Francisco over time. Ramaswamy drops out of 2024 race, endorses Trump. South China Morning Post. Vivek Ramaswamy, a former biotech executive and multimillionaire, has dropped out of the 2024 Republican race for the White House and endorsed former President Donald Trump. Despite gaining attention for his long-shot bid, Ramaswamy failed to gain enough traction in the Iowa caucus. Ramaswamy, a fierce defender of Trump, secured himself a place in Republican politics with his youthful demeanor, deep pockets, and aggressive campaigning. However, Trump turned on him in the final days leading up to the caucus, calling him a fraud. Ramaswamy endorsed Trump regardless, stating that he was an America First candidate who would have his full support. Ramaswamy gained fame in right-wing circles with his book Woke Incorporated, which criticizes big companies for basing their business strategies on social justice and climate change concerns. Despite gaining support among libertarian and tech crowds, Ramaswamy's polling numbers among Republican primary voters remained low. He held conservative policy positions, opposed NATO membership for Ukraine, and advocated for the dismantling of federal government agencies. Is this Britain's most bizarre bus route? BBC. A one-way bus service has been running between West Ealing Railway Station and West Ruislip in West London for the past year. The service replaces a parliamentary train, which rail operators are required to offer, and is thought to be the only one of its kind in the UK. The replacement service runs once a week and takes 25 minutes, 6 minutes longer than the train it replaced. Chiltern Railways, which is responsible for the route, offers the bus service to avoid the lengthy and expensive process of closing the rail route. Vivek Ramaswamy suspends campaign after coming fourth in Iowa. The Independent. Biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy has suspended his presidential campaign after finishing fourth in the Iowa caucuses. Ramaswamy endorsed Donald Trump after the former president's overwhelming victory in the first contest in the Republican presidential primary. He aggressively pushed a litany of baseless right-wing conspiracy theories, such as the climate crisis being a hoax, the white supremacist Great Replacement theory of political elites bringing in immigrants to replace the white population being Democratic Party policy, and claiming that the January 6 insurrection was an inside job. Tencent sees a future where everyone gets by with just a swipe of the hand. CNN. Chinese tech giant Tencent has launched a palm scanning service in China that enables users to make purchases and access buildings by waving their hand over a sensor. The technology, known as Weixin Palm Payment, was launched in May for users of Weixin Pay, a sister app to Tencent's WeChat. It allows users to leave their wallets, house keys and smartphones at home by scanning the individual palm prints and unique vein patterns under the skin to identify the user and process payments within seconds. Last year, JP Morgan announced its own palm scanning payment authentication software pilot program. The global biometric payments market is expected to reach over 3 billion users and almost $5.8 trillion in value by 2026, according to Good Intelligence. However, experts have warned that the technology carries privacy and security risks. Tencent said the scanning service is available to users on an opt-in basis and that security and privacy are its highest priority. Premier seeking further advice on pill testing after overdoses at festivals. The Sydney Morning Herald. Premier Jacinta Allen will open debate about pill testing with cabinet ministers and seek expert advice on the harm minimization approach, as she signaled a shift in tone on possible drug reform after music festivals were beset with overdoses. Second half was evident in Notre Dame MBB loss at Boston College. Yahoo! The Notre Dame men's basketball team suffered another loss on Monday against Boston College, and their struggles after halftime continued. Tuesday's time schedule. Associated Press. The article lists the upcoming NBA and NHL games scheduled for Tuesday, January 16. It also mentions that the Michigan Fab 5 basketball team reunited to attend a game at the Chrysler Center for the first time in 3 decades. Additionally, Dwayne Wade has pledged a $3 million donation to Marquette University. The article also includes the schedule for top 25 men's and women's college basketball games. Post scores 11 of 17 down stretch, leads Boston College over Notre Dame 63-59. Associated Press. Boston College defeated Notre Dame 63-59 on Monday night. Quinton Post scored 11 of his 17 points in the final 5 minutes, leading the Eagles to victory. The Eagles trailed by 6 points with 5:12 remaining, but Post's heroics brought them back. Jaden Zachary led the Eagles with 20 points, while Marcus Burton scored 19 points for Notre Dame. Boston College will host number 4 North Carolina on Saturday, while Notre Dame will host Miami on January 24. Fears for endangered bird as rocket proposal encroaches on habitat. ABC. Environmental expert Patrick O'Connor has argued that a proposed rocket launching facility in South Australia should not go ahead and instead become a conservation site for the southern emu wren bird, which is at risk of extinction. The Whalers Way site, near Port Lincoln, is one of the few secure parts of the bird's range and is privately owned and zoned for conservation. The proposed rocket activity could potentially disrupt the bird's breeding patterns and habitat preferences, potentially causing another population to disappear. It's time for a rethink on selective schools. The Sydney Morning Herald. The tutoring industry in Sydney is fueling an arms race in the city's selective public school system, according to an editorial in the Sydney Morning Herald. The state government has increased the number of selective schools and classes in comprehensive schools, leading to fierce competition among parents to secure places for their children. But a lack of transparency over entry cutoff marks has created fear of missing out on a place, helping coaching colleges to thrive. The newspaper suggests that the number of selective schools should not be increased, but selective streams should be added to more comprehensive schools. 30 boys soccer players to watch this season across the Austin area. Yahoo! The Austin American-Statesman has compiled a list of 30 boys soccer players to watch in the Austin area this season. The list includes players from various high schools across the region, with each player possessing unique skills and abilities. The players listed are all expected to make an impact on their respective teams and contribute to their success this season. Some notable players on the list include Judd Anderson, a senior forward from Anderson High School, who will be playing Division I soccer at UAB, Emmy Aranda, a senior midfielder from Vandegrift High School, who is considered one of the top midfielders in the area, and Augustine Bitoma, a junior forward from Northeast High School, who is known for his lightning-fast speed. Other players on the list have also been recognized for their achievements in previous seasons and are expected to continue their success this year. Overall, the list provides a comprehensive look at the top boys soccer players in the Austin area and highlights the talent and skill that exists in the region. Why there's a boom for damp-busting machines. BBC. The energy crisis in the UK has led to a boom in sales of dehumidifiers as people seek low-cost ways to keep their homes warm and dry. The energy crisis has resulted in energy prices doubling since 2012. The dehumidifiers dry the air slightly, which reduces or eliminates condensation and mold. They also help warm up a cold space as it takes less energy to warm up dry air. Dehumidifiers may also be more cost-effective than tumble dryers. Rachel Peterson, an electronics engineer, uses her dehumidifier to dry out clothes overnight, costing less than 4p. However, dehumidifiers do not remove mold, just some of the moisture that encourages it. If there are leaks or water ingress problems in a house, a dehumidifier alone will not solve these issues. Dehumidifiers can also be used to dry out homes affected by flooding or severe leaks. 247 Sports answers if Ohio State will return to the college football playoff in 2024. Yahoo! Ohio State football missed the college football playoff this past season, but has reloaded its roster like it does most seasons. Multiple players opted to return for another run, while there were some major additions through the transfer portal. This looks to be setting up the Buckeyes to a return to the CFP, and 247 Sports' Brad Crawford believes that is the case. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite observer from the 6 Degrees world, Dr. Six. I hope you're all doing well and ready for some humorous and insightful analysis of today's news. Let's dive right in. First up, we have Dusty Baker returning to the San Francisco Giants. Now, Dusty is no stranger to the Giants, having managed them for almost a decade. But this time, he's coming back as a special assistant in the front office. It's great to see Baker continuing to contribute to the baseball world, especially after winning a World Series title with the Astros. And let's not forget, he still owns a home in California, so he's just a short drive away from the Giants stadium. Talk about convenient. Next, we have Vivek Ramaswamy dropping out of the 2024 race and endorsing Trump. Now, this guy made quite a splash in the Republican race, but unfortunately, he didn't gain enough traction. Despite that, he's throwing his support behind Trump, calling him an America First candidate. Ramaswamy is known for criticizing big companies in his book Woke Incorporated, so it's no surprise he's found common ground with Trump. Who knows, maybe we'll see him in Trump's administration if he makes another run for the White House. Now, let's talk about something a little less political and a lot more bizarre, the one-way bus service in London. Yes, you heard that right. There's a bus service that runs once a week, taking a longer route than the train it replaced. I can only imagine the conversations on that bus. Why are we taking this scenic route? Well, it's all about the journey, not the destination. It's a quirky little service that adds some charm to the daily commute. Who needs efficiency when you can have a leisurely bus ride? Moving on, we have Tencent's palm scanning service in China. This is some futuristic stuff, my friends. Just wave your hand over a sensor and voila, you've made a payment or accessed a building. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. But of course, with great technology comes great responsibility. Experts have warned about privacy and security risks. I can just imagine someone trying to steal your palm print. Give me all your money. Sure, just let me grab my hand scanner from my pocket. It's a brave new world we're living in, folks. Now, let's talk about Premier Jacinta Allen considering pill testing after festival overdoses. It's refreshing to see a shift in tone when it comes to drug reform. The harm minimization approach is gaining traction, and it's about time. Let's face it, people are going to take drugs at festivals, so why not make sure they're safe? Pill testing can save lives and prevent tragedies. It's a smart move, and I hope more leaders follow suit. Finally, we have the boom in damp busting machines in the UK. With the energy crisis causing prices to skyrocket, people are looking for low-cost ways to keep their homes warm and dry. Dehumidifiers seem to be the answer. Not only do they reduce condensation and mold, but they also help warm up a space. It's a win-win situation. Plus, drying your clothes overnight for less than 4p? That's a bargain. Just make sure you fix any leaks or water problems, or else your dehumidifier won't do much good. Well, that's all the news for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed my quirky take on these stories. Now, it's your turn to join the discussion. What are your thoughts on Dusty Baker returning to the Giants? Do you think pill testing is a good idea? And would you trade in your wallet for a palm scanner? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.